God damn it. This is like Minecraft all over again. Like you start at the bottom and you're like, oh yeah, I got enough. You just got 5, 4, 3, and then it's 1. There's no way of winning.
Greetings and salutations, my little cheese demons. How long can I hold this plank? My arms aren't shaking, shut up. My lats aren't pulsating, shut up. I don't have the tiniest bit of precum leaking out of my fuzzy little fella. By the way, this isn't a bad unboxing. I'm not unboxing. Oof. I just got my second wind.
Today we're gonna be ranking and reviewing these Cheez-Its using the spectrum. The generational spectrum. On this end, you got the silent generation, and on this end of the spectrum, you got Gen Alpha. We're starting with original. Now, this is giving major boomer vibes because boomers like everything like plain. They're gonna get insulted when you put A1 steak sauce on your steak. They're gonna be mad when you use steak sauce on a steak. I'm gonna use steak sauce on my salad. What is there to use steak sauce on? It even tastes like boomer. Man, this is really easy. Next up is gonna be Cheez-It Grooves. These, obviously, they're more new, so your brain's gonna wanna go, oh, that's Gen Alpha or Gen Z. But you gotta think about it. Groove might be like a word used in the silent generation. This one's bold cheddar. The packaging is a little bit different. They look a little bit different too. Oh my God. That is so much better than a Cheez-It. I'm gonna have to say the Cheez-It Grooves are firmly Gen X. They are like the good version of these guys. They have more flavor, they're thinner, they've destroyed our economy a little less than this one. Gen Z, is pepper jack in your vocabulary? Because it's barely in mine. You know, there's been some moments in my life where I've been like, oh, what's the cheese with the little thingies suspended in it? A very old, ancient flavor. This flavor comes from Germany. This flavor was born out of war, like wartime. This is like a very wartime flavor. I'm gonna give you guys an example of how I think these Cheez-Its should be put out for people to eat. This is how these Cheez-Its would be eaten in a dirty amber-colored dish. They'd pick these burnt pieces of shit out of here, and they'd be like, oh, I love the roaring 20s. Pepper Jack, is that Pepper Jack? Those Pepper Jacks are semen. That's not what I meant to say. I'm gonna say the Pepper Jack Cheez-Its, the silent generation. White cheddar Cheez-Its. I had a friend when I was younger who loved white cheddar Cheez-Its. He's a millennial, so, okay. I'm gonna be honest, that's good. It hurts me to say that, right? Between my friends liking white cheddar Cheez-Its growing up, Pearl liking white cheddar Cheez-Its, and me just enjoying the flavor of those just now, unfortunately, white cheddar Cheez-Its are going into the millennial category. That doesn't mean they're bad, that just means that they're millennial. Take what you will out of that. Put all the Cheez-Its in the pile, we'll make a fucking mega Cheez-It. A mega Cheez-It mix. Oh, at the end we can mix all the Cheez-Its to make a monster mega Cheez-It mix. Mix them all together to make a monster mega Cheez-It mix. They're fucking parallelogram. Leave a comment if you know what a parallelogram is. This one's Parmesan ranch. It tastes like a shift change. At the Cheez-It factory, the boomer's like going through and doing quality control and it's like, not flavorless enough. There's not enough lead in this damn thing. Can we figure out how to make this out of oil? Then the Gen Xer starts his shift and he's like, oh, you could use a little bit more flavor. My Gen Xer is vaguely Owen Wilson. The Cheez-It Snapped, I'm gonna have to make it an older Gen Xer. Now we got Cheez-It Snapped Double Cheese. I think the Snapped Double Cheese is kind of like the Gen Zers original Cheez-It. Up next, Extra Toasty. Oh man, these are rank. I don't know who likes this shit. I feel like if you want flavor on your Cheez-Its, you're actually better off eating a bag of Kingsford charcoal than you are the Extra Toasty Cheez-Its. How can you go even more boomer than the original Cheez-It? By being an old boomer, almost into the silent generation. Look at that bag, wretched. All right, Cheez-It Extra Cheesy. That ain't a millennial thing. This level of cheese flavoring is giving me like Unsustainability. This is unreasonable to ask for. Like, future generations are gonna have to pay for this. It's for the boondogs. I can win a JBL speaker. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is a new texture we're exploring. These are Cheez-It Puffed. These are unlike any of these. Bro, these are insane. These make you go geyser mode. There's always a consequence to going geyser mode. When you go geyser mode, you get a retainer. A retainer. This is a Gen Beta product. I don't think there are any Gen Betas out there yet. Beta, I'm holding. Hot and spicy, I'm skeptical about. It's not very hot and it's not very spicy. Couldn't be more Gen X. This is Gen X Rising, Gen X Sun, and Gen X Moon, if that makes sense to you. This one I thought was the original, but it's just called Cheddar Jack. Wowee. That is unmistakably forgettable. Extra cheesy is Boomer, so that's gonna make Cheddar Jack the silent generation. These are double cheese puffed. These are just the like puffed Cheetos. It's the same thing. It's the same flavoring. It's like a different shape. They're trying to sell us air. They're like, unfair. Unfair that Cheetos gets to sell you air. We should be able to sell you air as well. Assholes. You're the assholes, not us. We've been giving you Cheez-Its for years. Now fucking eat this puffed air, bitch. Puffed Cheetos don't exist. These exist, bitch. I've just convinced myself. These are these are Boomer. This one I have big opinions on. These are big Cheez-Its. There was a troll hunter back when I played World of Warcraft. I forget his name, but he loved big Cheez-Its. And he would always say, big Cheez-Its. That's what he'd say when we'd play game. That was like his catchphrase. Big Cheez-Its. Big Cheez-Its. I'm not sure why. I think he just loved big Cheez-Its. But I always wondered, what's the deal with big Cheez-Its? They're just Cheez-Its, but they're big. Big Cheez-Its. Big Cheez-Its. Normal Cheez-It for scale. It's like twice the size. Not bad. Twice the size. I'd call that a big Cheez-It. If another man was twice my size, I'd call it a big man. I'd call whatever that person is, I'd call them a bigger person. Respectable progression from the original Cheez-It. Gen X, but young Gen X. Oh. Next up, we have Cheez-It Duos. Bacon and cheddar. I see bacon and I'm like millennial. Bacon, epic bacon. Epic bacon for the win, millennial. I'm an epic bacon-loving millennial. But upon eating it, I might get a different opinion. I could picture some of my friends loving this. It's not for me. Great can recognize subpar, and there are some subpar millennials who would enjoy the hell out of an epic bacon and Rafflecopter cheddar Cheez-It. It looks like one of these like crazy snacks. And Cheetos and hot Cheetos and licorice inside this snack pack. No, you should have stopped. These grooves are Zesty Cheddar Ranch. Not a lot of flavor there. We might have our first Grooves loser here. But who does this Grooves belong to? Gen Alpha, from what I understand, is characterized by their use of the iPad. They kick their feet up and they run around restaurants currently. Who knows what they'll be like in the future? But right now, they certainly play a lot of Minecraft and they leak out of their mouth, which seems appropriate for the Zesty Cheddar Ranch Grooves. Puffed Cheddar Jack. What the fuck is Cheddar Jack? Who came before the silent generation? Was it like the generation with no soul? We're getting less and less creative with the names. I feel like the further back you go, the like longer and more descriptive it is. Boomers, the silent generation. The generation that didn't know love. The generation who busted nuts unhygienically. This is like 6 generations ago, whatever that is, down there, way down there. Cheddar, sour cream, and onion. That's a bold claim. You wouldn't think it's a bold claim, but then you start eating it and you're like, that's a fucking bold ass claim to make. Wow. This is kind of like the Pandora of Cheez-Its. You know who uses Pandora? 60 to 70-year-old women who live in Pennsylvania. That would be a boomer. All right, this is gonna be a little bit of a throwback, but I'm only gonna do it once, and I don't want y'all to say shit in the comments. Doesn't feel right. I gotta have a modern term. Bust. I say bust now. When I open boxes, I simply say bust. It smells like slime. Duos. Even the term duos is making me lean a little bit more modern. Because you know who likes duos? People who play in Fortnite. And you know who plays a lot of Fortnite? Gen Z. Us millennials like playing duos, and we say epic bacon. The Gen Zers love playing duos, and they say simply Parmesan. That's what they say. They say simply Parmesan when they get a kill, when they get a double kill. Which is to say that it was easy. This is a type of wordplay that the newer generation is into. Not my words, the Gen Zers. Last, but certainly not least, we have sharp, white, cheddar grooves. Now this has a football player on the front of it, which should mean that it's targeted toward like people who care about football. So I'm thinking like Gen X and boomers. So surely the flavor would match that. That's the wrong flavor. That's the wrong flavor. What is that from? Wrong number. It's either an older millennial or a really young Gen X. And I'm thinking it's a young Gen X. All right, we've gone through all of them. I've created a little mixing pile here. I've collected all of them, and I'm about to have my most epic bacon moment of this video. That was a bad experience. I don't recommend it to anyone. Some generations got a little bit more love than others, but it's not a competition. We're gonna let Gen Z cook, we're gonna let Gen Alpha cook, we're gonna see what they come up with, what they're gonna be remembered for. If it's not epic bacon, it might be simply Parmesan. And if that's the case, more power to them. Do not be sarcastic in my comments. Thank you, Gangrene Gang, for watching this video. You ever get like a lump in your throat made of mucus and you sound like fucking Yoda or Jigglypuff? If my wife ever gets a bit of mucus in the back of her throat while she's talking, I'm like, Jigglypuff. That's Jigglypuff. Whatever she's saying, I ignore it completely. I say, Jigglypuff. Also, for anyone who wants to comment anything rude to me, just know you are commenting to someone who has Cheez-Its on lock for the next 11 months. Anytime I want to go to the pantry and grab a little savory snack, I literally have a smorgasbord to choose from. So just know that that's who you're being mean to when you comment what you're commenting. What I look like when I'm flinging paper at my haters to give them paper cuts. Big Cheez-Its, big Cheez-Its, big Cheez-Its, big Cheez-Its.